All right, so let's go take a look at the high tunnel. I had a question from someone wondering what a high tunnel was. So we're going to drive to the back so that I can show you up close and personal. The high tunnel we have is a 30 by 96, and we used a company called Scenic Acres out of Kentucky to install it. I got a grant from the NRCS. In order to pay for it, I had to, pay up front for it, and then they reimbursed me. But anyway, ours is at the very rear of our property, and we've got 5 acres, very rocky acres. We're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, so it's lots of rocky ground. The only place that they could do the installation was at the very back of the property, and unfortunately, we don't have any irrigation. So last year, we didn't have a truck, so we were walking the water back. We were catching rainwater and carrying, 4 gallons a piece, every couple of days to come back here and water the vegetables. So the high tunnel itself is a structure that's going to allow for you to extend your growing season. As you can see, it's got a wood-based metal frame and a plastic cover. And this door has a little latch that makes it secure. And those little cranks on either side allow for you to roll up the sides of the high tunnel to allow ventilation. We came in and we did some work. Last year we had a whole bunch more weeds in there this time last year, so we cleared them out. But as you can see, they've come back. A lot of them have, but we did get some weed cover down, and we started some raised beds. The soil back there isn't the best, so we definitely brought in our own soil. And you can see something got back there and just tore up one of my beds. So this is what it looks like. We tried to do some onions and corn and peppers and tomatoes and whatnot, but a lot of it got eaten because if you can see over, you may not be able to tell, but in certain parts there's a big gap of space between the ground and the bottom, the base frame. So it's easy for little critters to get up under there. So we're going to have to come back and reinforce with chicken wire, which is one of the projects. And I have a good feeling that they're in that hole right there. But at any rate, so you are supposed to get an extra, maybe even month or 2 out of the high tunnel when you have, if you're like, I'm in zone 7A, so our season typically is going to end around October. However, you can come into this thing in November and it be around 60 degrees. So it's a really good way to extend your growing season, give more predictability to your crops. Once you get it all secured, of course, we're going to have to do a little bit of reinforcing to make sure that we can't, that we don't lose anything to little critters or whatnot. But the location that it's in is at the very corner of our property. And we're going to have to do a little bit of trimming of the trees back on the left-hand side of it so that it doesn't block the sun. The person who owns the land adjacent to us, they already cut their side. So we've got to come in and trim those trees to make sure we can get as much sunlight as possible. And yeah, that's it. So high tunnels are very important if you want to be able to control your crop. Again, we still got to come in and do some chicken wire. We've got the chicken wire in there. There's always something to do. There's never a shortage of projects when it comes to trying to, start this homesteading process. I've just learned to accept the fact that it's not going to happen all at once, and it's going to be a process. So like I said, it's about 1/4 mile back to our high tunnel from the house. So thankfully we've got the truck now and don't have to walk it. We did get this road, which you can't really tell it's a road, but we had it kind of carved out, so we don't have to worry about it growing over too quickly, but we do need to come in with some crush and run. There's our sinkhole and a tree that fell down during a bad storm. We got to get that dealt with. So lots of stuff to deal with. Can't deal with any animals yet because we got too many perimeter fencing issues, but that's it. That's a high tunnel. I would encourage you to get your farm number, then get your application in to NRCS to get you a high tunnel. It's a cost share program, so you'll have to pay for it up front and get reimbursed.